Story time. What losing my job a couple years ago taught me about navigating big changes and transitions in life. That's the story that I want to talk about because there's so much to unpack with this. So I'll start just by saying what happened. A couple years ago, I lost my job. The company I was working for went through some issues and laid off 90+% of everyone that worked there, including me. And then a few days after that, I think it was less than a week after that, we found out that our landlord at the time, we were renting a house, he wanted to move back into the house. So we found that out within the same week. Okay, so losing my job and finding out that we had to move within the same week. So this was challenging times, of course. Curveballs. I had to navigate transition on a level that I wasn't comfortable with. So what I turned to, I had to learn how to process my emotions in a new way and how to let go of so many things and to navigate a lot of change happening. It was a forcing function for all that. So during this process, I didn't really resist the fact that I lost my job. I felt optimistic about what I could do and that aspect of it, but I noticed that I was driving myself crazy and stressing myself out because I resisted where I was in terms of not being able to make money or enough money through my own projects and not finding another job quickly that was really in alignment with me, that paid well, what I wanted to, what I was looking for. So that was frustrating because I was trying so many things. I was putting out offers, trying to sell workshops. Nothing was really working or working at the level that I thought it would. I was applying for so many jobs. I applied for, I think, over 70 jobs in a 5-month period, and it didn't really work out. So during this, I was noticing the stress, noticing the pressure I was putting on myself, noticing the frustration, and I turned to journaling. Journaling is the most transformative practice. It's helped me navigate so many big transitions in life. It helped me navigate my rock bottom in life when I was 19. So I turned to journaling to navigate through this challenging phase of big transition in life. And here's why it's so important. Because one, it helps you actually process your emotions. It helps you get real with yourself about what's going on. Because you can get, like for me, let's say I was getting frustrated. It helps me first admit that I'm frustrated, and second of all, kind of dissect the narratives and untangle the narratives around being frustrated. Like, what am I actually frustrated about? Where is this coming from? So it allows for the processing of emotions, which is so crucial. Because if you don't do that, you're going to be in this constant loop of negativity. You're going to be depressed or frustrated or angry or sad or whatever it is. And it's going to be on repeat until you learn how to look at it and untangle the narratives. Because only then can you start choosing higher. So that's another benefit of journaling. Once you see those narratives at play and you get real with yourself, then you can start moving in another direction, and journaling helps you with that. So during this whole process for me, when I was looking for other jobs, putting out offers, trying so hard to make something work, I put together a challenge for myself and I turned it into a journal. And this is it. This is actually the copy that I use. This is the proof copy, and I use this. I have my writing in here from that time period. And this is what I used. I did a 33-day journaling challenge with different prompts every day to help me navigate this time of change with like mastery and thrive during it. And it helped so much. So I turned it into this journal that I put out, this 33-day transition and transformation journal. So I'll give you a couple more examples of what I was processing. So one thing was putting so much pressure on myself. I noticed that I was putting a lot of pressure on myself during this time period because it's like, I got to make something happen, either find another job or put out offers that work. So this pressure, I was like, where is this coming from? And part of what came up when I was journaling about this was that I felt like no one cared because people weren't reaching out to me or trying to support me or anything like that. That was one narrative that emerged, and I didn't realize it until I started journaling about it. Otherwise, I just would have been like, I just would have been putting pressure on myself and maybe even not being aware of the pressure until I took a look at it, actually examined it. And then another narrative that came about when I was examining why I put pressure on myself was that I felt like I didn't want to be a burden on anyone else. So I felt like, it was all on my shoulders to do this. Like I felt guilty about my wife supporting us mostly during that time and all that. So those two ideas, can you see that they're kind of in conflict too? Like, oh, no one cares and I don't want to be a burden on anyone else. Those are ideas in conflict that were keeping me stuck. Because like I wanted help in some capacity, not like handouts, but like some kind of support. But I also was afraid of burdening people. So those were at odds with each other, and that caused like all this pressure and stress. And I wouldn't have been aware of it if I didn't journal about it. Another one was frustration. I was frustrated because I wasn't making enough money with my own projects. Jobs that I was applying for weren't working out. So I was getting frustrated, and I revealed to myself that the frustration was all around resisting what is, judging myself for not being further along. Like I was like, I should be here. I should be further along at this point. Why am I here? Why am I so limited in here? Resisting what is and judging myself for not being further along. So that created all this frustration and stress. And again, I had to untangle that through journaling. Okay. And I'm going to share with you a couple prompts from this journal because it helped me so much. And even looking at it now, I'm like, damn, this is good. Like, I need to promote this journal more. Okay, so here's day 7, the prompt. Some of them are questions and some of them are like quick meditative exercises. So this prompt for day 7 is, in what ways do I prioritize comfort over growth? And why am I holding myself back in these areas? Okay, so in what ways do I prioritize comfort over growth? And why am I holding myself back in these areas? You can even write that down and do a journaling practice based on that prompt after you watch this. And I also did little poems for each day too. Like this one says, I am adaptable, I am dynamic, I welcome positive change, I flow with grace and ease. It's kind of like an affirmation poem. So that's one prompt. I'll give you another one. And you can write this down and journal on it after this. This is day 29, and the prompt is, what unconscious patterns or reactions do I fall into that block my ability to change? So emotions, thoughts, self-talk, etc. What unconscious patterns or reactions do I fall into that block my ability to change? And these are really revelatory. I remember just looking at those prompts and I would start writing and realizations would come to me, new insights would come to me. It was powerful and profound. And like I said, it helped me process emotions. It helped me get real with myself. And this opens up opportunities, because once you're able to get real with yourself, Once you're able to process emotions and stop repressing, suppressing them, that's when you open up new opportunities and positive change actually happens. So this is a hidden gem. And I'm going to go back, like I might even buy myself another copy and do this again, because I feel like these days everyone's going through some kind of big transition in some way. Like we're all having to navigate change. We're all having these parts of ourself or our ego that are becoming too uncomfortable to even deal with. It's like they have to die. We have to evolve in different ways. Everyone's experiencing that in some capacity, and this is a way to help you navigate that, help you navigate it and thrive through change. So not just dealing with change, but thriving through change and coming out a better person. And then what else did I want to talk about? Another way besides journaling. So journaling is like the foundation for me. It's the most powerful practice. Journaling and meditation, they're up there. I don't know which is first or second. Hold on, let me drink from my Lima cup. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the importance of creation when it comes to navigating big changes in life. So another thing that helps me whenever I go through times of change is creating something. Like, I didn't even realize it, but I talked about creating this. So creating this journal was something for me that gave me a positive intention and purpose and focus that drove me forward. Because when you're creating something, you have a positive purpose. And when you have a purpose that's productive and positive, you become more immune to negativity. You're going to be less likely to succumb to a lot of negativity. That mission is going to drive you forward. It's going to ignite your soul. And don't underestimate the power of this. So creating anything, and especially a book, because a book is a long-term project. A book is something that you're so passionate about, that you're so lit up about, that it becomes that like soul level driving force. It gives you a positive focus that drives your life in an upgraded direction. Okay? And on top of that, when you write a book, it writes a new chapter of your life because you become a new person by doing it. It's a rite of passage. Double entendre there, a rite of passage that helps you evolve as a person. So you'll notice yourself when you do something like writing a book, you come out a different person. There's the before you and then the after you. Because it's long term, because it involves writing. Writing is so powerful. This applies to journaling too. Writing is so powerful because you're forced to be intentional with your thoughts. Writing inherently is like sitting with your thoughts and wielding them with intention. You can't not be intentional with your thoughts when you write. Writing is inherently being intentional with thoughts and expressing them. So that is so transformative. Just the ability to do that. It changes your relationship with your thinking. So instead of being a slave to the mind and just wrapped up in the endless cycles of thinking, you go, hey, wait a minute. Let's direct these cycles of thinking. Let's do something different, something new, something more productive with this thinking. So that's what writing does, and especially a book. There's something about those long-term projects, that long-term vision, that purpose, that drives you to move through anything. Nicole says, I remember you made a blog every day when you lost your dad creating the transition journal. Yeah, I made a video every day to document that. And I was actually just looking on my Instagram and I didn't see any of those videos. So maybe I didn't even post them. But it was cathartic for me to just record those. I remember recording a short video every day, like, here's what's going on today. And just speaking honestly from the heart about what was going on and talking about that journey. So some themes here. Speaking it out was helpful, even to just a camera, you know? The ability to verbalize it changes things. And writing. Writing is even more powerful in my opinion because you really have to sit with it. Like when you talk, you can gloss over things, but when you write, it's really hard to gloss over things because you're literally just moving with it, wielding those thoughts like that. So that's my opinion on that. And what else? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So this 33-day transition and transformation journal, I'm probably going to go through this again because it's that transformative. And these prompts, let's look at another prompt. Let's do a third bonus one. Ooh, okay. Day 23. I don't even think you could read my writing, but day 23, what do I fear most? How can I face it? Another prompt for you. So things like that, they activate things within your consciousness, help you really work through your emotions, be honest with yourself, and that is the foundation of navigating change. And then other things for navigating change, creating. No matter what you create, it will help if you're doing arts and crafts, if you're baking or cooking, or if you're painting or doing pottery, whatever it is, if you're creating something, you're helping yourself because you have to be intentional when you create. You're doing something proactive. You're being conscious. All of those things are super helpful. You're giving yourself purpose. Okay? And then writing a book is the ultimate example because you're wielding your thoughts. You have a long-term purpose. And if you want to write a book from the soul, I have two things for you. One is the Divine Write program. That's my full system. Basically everything I know about book writing over the last 13, 14 years that I've learned in one course. And it's a step-by-step system. It has 60 plus videos. It's like the whole thing for you to write a book, okay? From the soul, because I have some different techniques. I have some meditations, some exercises, guided writing sessions to help you tap into the truth of your soul, tap into your intuition, and write from that place instead of just copy pasting some tactics or regurgitating things. It helps you tap into your intuition, your soul, a higher power, however you want to view it. You tap into that and you write from that space. And that's where the magic happens. And not just the course, I also have a free workshop. And in that workshop, you outline your book, you clarify your idea, and you get started with the writing process. So check that out too, the Outline Your Book workshop and the Divine Write course if you're thinking about writing a book. And then check this out too. All right, I'll link to it all wherever I can. Wherever you're seeing this, I'll put links where I can in my bio as well. And also wishing everyone a beautiful day. Take care, everyone. Bye.